Good day, sir. We are the group 2 and our topic it's all about appraising and rewarding performance. First is let's discuss what is appraising and rewarding performance. When we say appraising, it is about the condition, quality or importance of something or someone that you have studied or examined. And rewarding performance, of course, it is all about the performance of having a job, the your ability and your skill to be rewarded based on your performance. So in this presentation, the relationship between economic reward system and organizational behavior will be discussed. So, ito yung i-discuss namin about the relationship between economic reward system and organizational behavior. And in this chapter, it will focuses first on how incentives are combined with other parts of wage administration to build a complete reward system that encourages motivation. Number 2, then on money as a means of rewarding employees. Motivational models applied to pay, cost-reward comparisons, and behavioral consideration in performance appraisal. And the third is finally an incentive pay, an approach in which each worker's pay varies in relation to employee or organizational performance. So, my report, it's all about the incentive foundation and the money as a means in rewarding employee. So, ano yung foundation ng isang incentive and bakit importante yung money sa isang employee. First is 1. A complete program. This program has 3 incentive foundation. So, meron siyang tatlong incentive foundation. 1 is the base pay. When we say base pay, it is according to level of responsibility and market pressure. According lang siya sa level ng responsibility and the market pressure. And number 2 is the performance rewards. Performance rewards is based on consideration or the contribution of the employee. So, it is based on contribution of the employee. So, ano lang yung kinikontribute ng employee. Yan ang performance rewards. Kung ikaw yung employee, ano yung performance mo, ano yung gusto mo or base ng contribution mo. So, number 3 is the profit sharing. When you say profit sharing, it is the rates of organization in terms of its general economic performance. So, it is the rates of the organization in terms of yung performance in general economic. So, in short, each can contribute something to the employees' economic satisfaction. So, lahat pwede makakontribute sa employees' economic satisfaction. So again, the 3 incentive foundation is 1. Base pay, 2. Performance rewards, 3. Profit sharing. And now, number 2. Money as a means of rewarding employees. Meaning money has social value, which means money is important to employees for a number of reasons. Of course, importante ang money sa mga employees Kasi paano naman magtatrabaho kung wala namang makukuha sila na reward. So, money has a social value. Certainly, money is valuable because of the goods and services that it will purchase, and also money is a social medium of exchange. Money has status value when it is being received and spent. It represents the employees what their employer thinks of them. It is also an indication of one employee's status relative to that of other employees. So that's the importance of money.
Application of money to motivational models. A useful way to think about money as a reward is to apply it to some of the motivational models such as drives. Achievement-oriented employees monitor their total pay and compare it with others. Needs. Other need-based models. Pay is seen as in its capacity to satisfy lower-order needs. And the last one is equity, which employs identify and compares personal cost and rewards to determine equality. Extrinsic and intrinsic rewards. Extrinsic are external rewards that occur apart from nature of work, providing no direct satisfaction at the time the work is performed. It is also tangible and visible reward given to an individual or an employee for achieving something. They usually have monetary values such as salary, hike, bonus, award, or public recognition. Intrinsic are internal rewards that a person feels when performing a job that has direct and immediate connection between work and reward. These are psychological rewards that employees get from doing meaningful work and performing it well. They are intrinsic because they are internal to the work being done, and achieving them largely depends on one's own effort. Money is essentially an extrinsic award rather than an intrinsic one. Pay is something that originates outside the job and is useful away from the job. Economic rewards cannot provide all the reward for psychologically healthy person. Organizational behavior performance appraisal. Management by objectives, or MBO, a cyclical process that often consists of 4 steps as a way to attain desired performance. First is objective setting. Those result is an agreement on what the role holder has to achieve. It is an important of the performance management processes of defining and managing expectation and forms the point of reference for performance reviews. Second one is action planning. It is a document that lists the steps needed to achieve goal. An action plan clarifies what resources you need to reach that goals, makes a timeline for the task to get clarifies what resources you'll need to get goal, and determines what team members you'll need to do it all. Periodic reviews used in determining order quantity in the periodic review system. And the last one is annual evaluation. Is something employees and managers are alike often fear. Yet it can be source of motivation and reward if both parties are knowledgeable about how a performance evaluation works. Performance appraisal is a process of evaluating the performance of employees, sharing that information with them, and searching for ways to improve their performance. It is a regular review of an employee's job performance and overall contribution to a company. It also known as annual review. Appraisal is necessary in order to first is allocate resources in dynamic environment, motivate and reward employees, give employees feedback about their work, maintain fair relationship within groups, coach and develop employees, comply with regulation. The modern appraisal philosophy are as follows. First is performance orientation. Second one is focus on goals or objectives. Third one is mutual goal setting between supervisors and employee. Fourth, clarification of behavioral expectation. And the last one, extensive feedback system. These are the suggested approaches for the appraisal interview. Appraisal interviews are most likely to be successful when the appraiser is knowledgeable about employee's job, has previously set measurable performance standards, has gathered specific evidence frequently about performance, seek and uses inputs from other observers in the organization, provide support, acceptance, and praise for talks well done, listens actively to the employees' input and reactions, shares responsibility for outcomes and future assistance, allows participation in the discussion, and the last one is sharply limits the amount of criticism to a few major items. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aljumay Arjalil from the group 2. So, in general, feedback should focus on specific job behaviors, rely on objective data rather than subjective opinions and influences, be well timed by being given soon after a critical event, be checked for understanding by the receiver. 360-degree feedback programs. All appraisal systems build on the assumption that employees need feedback about their performance. Feedback helps them to know what to do and how well they are meeting their goals. It shows that others are interested in what they are doing. Assuming that performance is satisfactory, feedback enhances an employee's self-image and feeling of competence. 360-degree feedback is the process of systematically gathering data on a person's skills, abilities, and behaviors from a variety of sources: the manager, peers, subordinates, and even customers or clients. However, 360-degree feedback programs can be time-consuming, intimidating to the recipients, and expensive. The 360-degree feedback system works best if individuals match the data gathered with their own self-assessments. For this approach encourages can-do confrontation of one's needs for change. Appraisal problems. Several behavioral problems inherent in the process. It can be confrontational, because each party is trying to convince the other that her or his view is more accurate. Emotional, judgmental, because the manager must evaluate the employee's behavior and results, and this aspect places the employee in a clearly subordinate position. Complex. So, in the managerial effects, conducting performance appraisals also has substantial impact on the appraiser. On the positive side, a formal appraisal system encourages managers to do more analytical and constructive thinking about their employees. The recruitment of a face-to-face interview encourages managers to be more specific about identifying each employee's abilities, interest, and motivation. Managers often begin to perceive that each employee is truly different and must be treated that way. Incentive measure are amount of profit, for example, profit sharing, cost efficiency, for example, gains sharing, employee skills, for example, skill-based pay.
So now let's tackle about the incentives linking pay with performance. Then under that we have the incentive measure with their example. So we have here the amount of output, which is the piece rates sale commission. Number 2, we have the quality of output, which is the piece rate only for pieces, meeting the standard commission only for sales that are without bad debts. The third one, we have the success in reaching goals. Bonus for selling an established number of items during a predetermined time span. Realistically, however, managers sometimes avoid giving appraisals because they do not want to disrupt an existing smooth relationship with an employee by providing negative feedback. It is particularly difficult to deal with low-performing employees who may require more frequent monitoring and reviews. In other cases, managers simply do not see any organizational rewards coming to them from the appraisal process, where there is no extrinsic or intrinsic incentive to perform the task. Managers may neglect it entirely. So, we also have the advantages. Incentives provide several potential employee advantages. A major advantage is that they increase employee beliefs, instrumentality, that reward will follow high performance. So, the second one, we have the incentives also appear favorable from the point view equity theory. Those who perform better are rewarded more. Another advantage from the employee's point of view is that incentives are comparatively objective. They can be computed from the number of pieces, dollars, or similar objective criteria. So if we have the advantages, we also have the difficulties. Potential equity is offset by other developments that are perceived as inequities. In behavior modification terms, certain unfavorable consequences exist alongside the favorable consequences of more pay, as they tend to reduce the potential advantage of incentive pay. When workers make their cost-reward analysis, they find that costs have risen along with rewards. The result may be that the break-even point has changed very little, if at all. So we have here the wage incentives. What is wage incentives? Basically, wage incentives provide more pay for more production. It nearly always increases productivity while decreasing unit labor cost. Therefore, the main reason for using this is clear. So, the profit sharing. Profit sharing is a system that distributes to employees some portions of the profits of business, either immediately or deferred until a later date. The next one is the gain sharing. This is another useful group incentive. Gain sharing plan is a program that establishes a historical base period of organizational performance, measures improvements, and shares the gains with employees on some formula basis. So the last one, we have the skill-based pay. What is skill-based pay? So in contrast to salaries and wage incentives, skill-based pay rewards individuals for what they know how to do. Employees are paid for the range, depth, and types of skill in which they demonstrate capabilities. So, thank you for listening. This is our Group 2 report. So, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you again.